Hey everybody, today I'd love to talk about memory loss and dementia. Now memory is a big topic, it's among my favorites, so let's break it down like this. First there's short-term memory, kind of like, what did I say a few seconds ago? Or perhaps you read a book a few days ago and today you can't quite recall the details. Or perhaps you met someone and introduction is like, hi, my name is Isaiah, and then in the course of the conversation, a few minutes in, you can't quite remember their name. That would be the short-term memory. Now there's a big bag of long-term memory with many types, so stick with me. There's two main types. There's explicit and implicit memory. The explicit memory are the things you're aware of, the things you're conscious of, like episodic memory or semantic memory. It will be kind of like when I tell my daughters the same exact story every single night before bed about that bully who just wouldn't leave me alone and I had to... See? You almost got me caught up there. That will be episodic memory, the stories we tell all the time. Or the semantic memory are the facts, the things you know, like your name, your date of birth, or maybe the facts from history class. Those all are the conscious memories that you're aware of. But then there's the implicit memory. These are things that you're not aware of, like your unconscious memories. An example would be like the implicit bias. Or this is also your working memory and your procedural memory. And so you don't quite remember how to walk, but you just walk. Or you hop on that bike after many, many years. You put one foot in front of the other, all of a sudden you're riding. These are things that you do every day that you just don't quite remember how you do them. And lastly, there's the emotional conditioning. These are how your emotions are intimately tied to your memory. I mean, you could smell a perfume and immediately remember your mother and the story she told you about her childhood. Or perhaps you see something, and every time you see that same thing, it triggers a memory. And so we put all this together, your short-term memory, your long-term, the stories, the facts, the things you do every day that you don't quite remember how you do them, and the emotions and how it makes you feel in the mood, and consider losing a little bit, or losing some, or losing all those memories. In comes dementia. Dementia is a big topic and there's so many types. Let's discuss a few. There's Alzheimer's, or as people call it, old-timers, or people call it Alzheimer's. We don't know quite the one cause of Alzheimer's, but it's probably a combination of genetics and environment and family history. Or maybe there's a person who's had a stroke and another stroke and multiple strokes over the course of their lifetime, and when they start having cognitive or memory issues, we call that vascular dementia. Or maybe there's a person who has Parkinson's symptoms where they're stiff and they're slow or they have a tremor. And when they start having memory or cognitive issues, we call that Lewy body dementia. And so we could talk more about the types and treatment and diagnosis, but today I want to focus back on the memory loss and strategies for prevention. Now, I don't believe in a miracle drug or end-all be-all treatment, or I wouldn't sell you a pipe dream, but I do believe in taking care of the whole self takes care of the brain. And so I would say, exercise your body, exercise your belly, and exercise your brain. First, your body. Did you know that exercising stimulates brand new brain cells to be growing every day? I mean, these are the same brain cells that are responsible for those memories to be capped throughout the years. And so I encourage you to incorporate exercise because while you're pumping iron, you're also building brand new brain cells. And then there's exercise in your belly. Your diet is super important. I mean, there are a lot of brain diseases where the process to make it worse includes inflammation of some type. And so I always recommend that anti-inflammatory foods to be incorporated into your diet, as that'll kind of help combat those aspects of memory loss. Those would be things like fruits and vegetables, nuts, turmeric or ginger. Anything that you can read online that talks about being anti-inflammatory would be great to incorporate into your daily diet. And finally, exercise your brain. This would be like the crossword or Sudoku or jigsaw puzzles. Anything that stretches your mind to its limits, to keep engaging it, to think and to think very carefully will go a long way to building that cognitive reserve that's useful to combat those aspects of memory loss. And so for you today, I'd love for you to try your best to remember. Remember the facts about memory and what types we have. And if you can't remember, go ahead and watch the video again. for now, this has been From My Brain to Yours.